Hi everybody, here's how you make graphs of the abundance of the elements. So for this assignment, you're going to make some graphs using Google Sheets, and fear not, because it won't be that hard after you watch this video. And then you're going to answer some questions from thinking with your brain. All right, so the first thing you do is you'll get a copy of the spreadsheet. So then you're going to want to change the name of it to something like your name. So I'm going to put Michael O. Finnegan. All right, so I put up a made-up name there, but you get to put your very own name, so I'll know whose it is. And you can just click OK. So it'll make a copy, and then you'll have your copy open. So then you're going to make a graph of the thing. So first of all, this is a spreadsheet, and it has the abundance of the elements. So it has the elements of the Earth's crust, elements of the Earth's atmosphere, elements of the Earth's oceans, and elements of Earth's life. So Earth's life consists of plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, all these different types of life forms that we have. So it's interesting to see, like which elements are in which parts of the Earth. The living part, the atmosphere part that we breathe in and out all the time. What's going into us anyway? What's in the ocean? What do we find in the rocks of the outer layer of the Earth? So we can see these numbers, and they're in percentages, and that's all very interesting, but it a lot of times helps to understand numbers if you make a graph of them. So that's what we're going to do. So here's how you do it. First, you would start by highlighting the information you want to graph. So I'm holding down. If you're using an old-fashioned roll-around mouse, they're not really, well, anyway, whatever. So you hold down the left button, and then you move it around. On a touchpad, you hold down one finger and then move around your other finger to highlight what you want. I'm sure you all know that. All right, then you will go to Insert, and you choose a chart. Now, this is my pet peeve. I call these things graphs, and I don't know why the computer programmers call them a chart, but they do. So I just have to get over it. So it's inserting it, even though you can't tell. So there it is. Just pops up. And then, of course, the computers aren't super smart. They're pretty smart, and these programmers at Google do a lot of wonderful things, but everything's not perfect. So first of all, well, I guess first of all, we might make it a little bit smaller just because it needs to fit. We need to be able to see what we're doing. And then this is a circle graph, and circle graphs show percentages. And so of a thing, then like say all the money that you own, that's 100% of it, 100% of your money. So then you could break it up into different percentages. The amount that your parents gave you, and then the amount that you earned doing jobs or whatever you do to get money, and the amount you found. So those are different parts of the money that you have. Or it could be the part that's in the bank and the part that's in your dresser. Or you could divide it up into the part that's made out of coins and the part that's made out of $1 bills, the part that's made out of $5 bills, the part that's made of $10 bills. So you could divide the percentage that way. So anyway, all of it together will add up to 100% of your money. So in this case, we have 100% of the elements that make up the Earth's crust. Now we can't tell that by our graph yet because we have a really bad title. So let's change our title, and we'll call it Element in the Earth's Crust. So now we have a title that tells us what this is. And it's laid out very well where they have oxygen, and it tells you what percent is oxygen, what percent silicone, aluminum, iron, calcium, and then other things. So other things make up 9%, but all of the parts are less than calcium, which is 3%. So we just lump all the leftover stuff that's less than 3% together into this section of the graph. But if you add these numbers, it hopefully will add up to 100%. All right, so what we're going to do is, this is the chart editor menu that pops up, and you can change different types of it. Like you could change the color of the different sections, you could change the font, you can do all sorts of things like that. But I think it's pretty much good. So I'm going to close that. You can always open it back up again. I'm going to move this, hopefully. Click it till it's blue on the outside, and then I can move it over. So I don't really want it to cover up my data. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. So still, I'm going to want a graph for the Earth's atmosphere next. So even if I leave it this big, obviously it's going to encroach on the next part. So go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. I can still read it. It's not too small or anything. All right, so then we make a graph for the next part. So you go ahead and I don't know, let's find out if we highlight all of this, what happens with our graph. Insert, chart. So you're going to do this on your copy, and then you're going to turn it in. All right, so this is percent of mass, so it's still not giving me a good title. So I'm going to change it. Oops, don't want an apostrophe. I do want one there because the atmosphere belongs to the Earth, so the apostrophe makes sense. Atmosphere. Okay, so then again, so once I change this, I'm going to look at my graph and see if I need to edit parts. I see nitrogen. Wow, what a big percentage is nitrogen. And then oxygen is 21%, argon is 0.9%. And there are actually some other parts to the atmosphere, but they are just very small. So others is 0.1%, and so 0.1% doesn't even show up on my graph. So 0.1%, I mean, that's much less than 1% even. So no wonder it doesn't show up. So we're just going to go with that. So I put that 0.1% on there. Sometimes it's not even recorded. But some of those things are very important, and people fight over them, like carbon dioxide. How much carbon we put in the air, and it causes things that we don't like the atmosphere to get warmer over time if there's more carbon dioxide in it. So they're important, but they're just not a very big percentage. Okay, then you're just going to continue this same process. I showed you 2 times already, and then you can watch the video as many times as you want, and you're going to go ahead and do these other ones on your own. Then, when you're finished with that, you will go to the next part of the assignment, which is opening up this particular document, which is a Google Doc, and you're going to make a copy of it, just like you did this Google Slides, and then you will use your graphs. You just click to the different tabs to look, or arrange your windows so they're different sizes. You can, like, say I wanted to look at everything at the same time, so I have to squeeze this down, and then I have to bring this over, and then I can see both of them at once. But now, I have to scroll around quite a bit to be able to see the thing I want to talk about. So this is looking at all the graphs together, looking for patterns, looking for differences. What do you wonder about? And you answer questions about them. So that's what that's all about. And I hope you enjoy the assignment and using your brain and learning a new skill.